My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the lifestyle editor for Plus Model Magazine, and I'm super duper excited to be speaking with the one and only Shakesha Williams. Now, who is this amazing woman? She was born in New York City. She worked in music, publicity, and marketing and established her own company before deciding to become a filmmaker. She wrote the award-winning short film My Story, which won Best Screenplay short at the Widescreen Film Festival. She wrote, produced, and directed Curvy Girls Rock digital series, which follows plus-size women living in New York City and juggling careers, love, and friendships. And this series is set to debut in November of this year, and its launch is beyond highly anticipated. And she also, I mean, guys, could she do more? She does. She's also the CEO of and founder of Harlem Fusion Studios. So without further ado, Shakesha, how are you?
I'm good. It's a good day. Like, New York is crazy. Our weather is a little nuts. It goes from 35 to 75, like all in
Yes.
one day. It's
Yes.
very non-New York, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yes.
It's a good day.
Absolutely. New York is a little bit bipolar, but we'll pray for her. And
Right.
we will pray for her. We'll get through this. So
Come
first
on.
of all, I just want to congratulate you on you being this amazing content creator, this phenomenal mother and motivator and role model. Like, how did you get started? How did you become the woman you are today?
Yeah. So for so many years, like, I mean, growing up, I knew I wanted to be an actress and a writer. And I remember clearly feeling as if I wanted to run something. So I'm, like a teenager in the 90s, and, watching Puffy and Andre Harrell and all those guys. You kind of want to be in the front of the camera, but I've always wanted to be the person. You know what? I'm going to be more honest. I've gone to parties and seen someone and everyone knows that person. But most people only know the celebrities. I always wanted to be the person that all the celebrities knew, but I didn't know their name. That's the honest to God truth. I always want to be the person in the background. Like, who is that? How does she know everyone? How does she get that? Because I'm kind of doing my thing, and I'm in a space where celebrity has its, it definitely has its perks, but I've always wanted to create, and I've always wanted to guard that creation. I've always wanted to help others create their stuff. And at the heart of me, I am definitely someone, if you tell me your desire, if you tell me what your plans are, I can help you figure them out, which made me really good in publicity, because I understood, I had like this thing that turns on in my mind where if I hear someone's vision, I can kind of begin to architect that vision with them. Even if I didn't know every element, I can create that. And that's why I thought I would make an amazing content creator. And writing always came naturally to me. So, and as far as just being the woman I am today, it was mostly the struggles, man. Like, all of the things that I've been through, all the things that I've seen. I've been through homelessness, severe depression, things that other people probably wouldn't have survived, and I didn't think that I actually would survive. But I did, and I came out on the other side of it, much, much stronger and a lot more braver than I've ever been.
And with this highly anticipated series, what prompted you to want to focus on the plus size woman in New York City? And what would you say is going to be the biggest takeaway from everyone, including me, who gets to see this debut in November?
I think as a community, in the body pause community and the plus size community, we kind of ring the bell a lot, and we have to. I mean, it's honest. We honestly have to have the conversation. We have to say, plus size bodies, we deserve a space, we deserve visibility, we deserve recognition. We are 67% of the American population as far as women are concerned, and now they're probably going to do a study on plus size men as well. But that whole population needs to be seen and heard. Only 2% of plus size people are even represented in film and television. So that's a huge disparity, and let's not even get into women of color and what that means for us. So that also puts us in a position of, okay, so when we are in shows, we're often, a character who supports the main character. We're comedic. And it's fine. I think that has a place, absolutely. But why can't we be the, the leading lady that gets the guy, and the guy, we're the object of desirability, that we have these amazing jobs and amazing lives, and it's not in spite of, like, we're just dope. We're just dope as hell because we're dope as hell. There's nothing else. And I wasn't seeing that, and I was a big fan of Sex and the City, and there were moments and times I would look at it and be like, why can't there be someone like me who is represented? My whole life, I dress well. I'm married, but I never hurt for attention. And I've been all sizes. And what I know about that is that all women suffer with insecurities and thoughts of, am I good enough? Am I strong enough? Am I going to live through this? Will I ever see my destiny take place? It goes across color lines. It goes across size barriers. So I wanted to see that. And the thing that you're going to walk away with from Curvy Girls is that the narrative isn't in the narrative. The bodies are represented. You look at her, you know she's a Black woman of a certain size. You look at her, you know what she's going through. You can read it. I don't have to keep talking about size and weight and schisms and isms. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Write a regular script. Write a regular script for big girls. Let's go. Let's do it. And that's what I was missing from. And I'm hoping that everyone walks away and goes, I get with that. I hear that. I understand that character. I understand why she did that. Boy, would I see that heifer, I would, those kind of conversations, I want those to happen. Oh, honey, there's plenty of those. Plenty.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And I think that that's why you're such an amazing, inspirational person, and why I hope everyone listening is really excited for this series, because so much of understanding the plus woman narrative in this country, I think, is understanding that we're people first, that we're women first, who happen to be doctors and writers and content creators and lawyers and artists and photographers and models. And yeah, we also happen to be plus size, but we don't begin with that foot. It's a part of who we are. It's everything just jumbled in together. And this whole notion of, fat stigma or hating on people for your size is completely ridiculous. You can't take it away from the narrative, right? People are who they are. You've got to appreciate and love them for who they are standing right in front of you. So I'm super excited. For some of the could you break down a little bit of the series? Like what are we going to see from the debut perspective, as well as just, where will the series be available, and what should we expect from characters, from sites, from celebrity, everything.
So one of the great things about this project, it took 2 years for us to even put this project fully together. Like it was literally a labor of love, from the actors to the crew to production. And we took our time because honestly, I couldn't afford it. It was paid for mostly out of my pocket, on a biweekly salary. And it took a lot out of me, financially. So I had to shoot in spurts. And we finally finished back last July. And a lot of the actors who had been on board since 2016 hadn't even filmed until last year. So, not last year, this year, July of this year. So it was an amazing thing. We have Mark John Jeffries, who played Lil C's in Notorious, and had a stint in Power. And we had a few, and from actually Rob Robinson, who's on the cover of this month's Plus Model magazine, he is in the series as well.
Very cool.
He plays Manny. He plays a scary internet date. But it's all good. It's all good. Nothing too bad. He's really comedic, and it's really great. I can't wait for you guys to see him. And the ladies are amazing. We have Alicia Marie, who plays Zuri. She plays a museum owner. Naima Terry, who also, see, this is incestuous right now. She also was a cover model for Plus Model magazine. I want to say she may have made the cover twice, actually.
Oh, wow.
Naima Terry's amazing. She plays Jazzy, a body positive blogger, and I think her messaging in the series is going to be one of the major takeaways. Some of the things that she says, some of the things that she touches upon, is going to hit home for a lot of people. You have Adrienne, played by Zoe Goslin, who is a plus size fashion designer, but she's like ridiculously addicted to internet dating, but can't really see the forest for the trees. She was right in front of
Interesting.
her. We have Jessica Barish, who plays Regan, and Regan is a single mom, recently divorced, trying to get her groove back. Regan's getting her groove back. And she's a part-time comedian, so really trying to follow some passion stuff now. She also works for Jazzy. You have Ivy, played by Tamala Baldwin, who is freaking an amazing songstress and actress, and also working on her own project right now, Bubbly Brown Sugar. And she plays Ivy, who has some really serious relationship issues. She's in a little bit of a love triangle, but it's all a little haywire in her world right now. And I think they're very representative in both ethnicities and, you know, body types, that every woman is going to be able to relate to some of them on some level. Like someone's going to go, I relate to that, or I can see myself in that situation. I've been in that situation, or that sucks for her. I really wish she'd get her life right. I think everyone's going to walk away having fun watching this show, lots of laughs, lots of serious moments, as every series should have. A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
I love it. And then after the debut, where will it be available?
So our first episode is going to be available on YouTube. We're going to release that for the public, since we've waited for 2 years to show it, so everyone can kind of see what the pilot is like. And then we're going to have our own on-demand page for Curvy Girls Rock. On Vimeo, we'll have more information at the release of the pilot, but the pilot will be released on Sunday, November the 25th, 6 p.m.
Okay. Perfect.
We can't wait. Yeah,
yes, yes, absolutely. And then where do you see this going? What are your intentions set out for the universe?
I would love for this to be a syndicated show, that years from now, people, like I do with my favorite show, like The Office and Friends and How I Met Your Mother. Like, I want it to go on for years and years to come, and I want women to, like, I want this to kind of be the first, but not the only. I want it to be an inspiration to other content creators, other showrunners, other writers, that they can do things like this and do it well, and do it with, you know, not a sense of having to discuss weight, and buck against the system a little bit. Not always, not allow someone to tell you that this character can't be this. Do it on your own. Yes, it takes a little bit of courage, but yeah, step out and do it. And you know, there's a saying, I can show you better than I can tell you. So my intention is that we are picked up on a major network, that millions of people get a chance to see these amazing characters, and that it goes on for years to come.
I love it. Okay. And since we talked about success, it's always important for people to know the real truth of how we got there. What were some of the biggest you hinted to it before, but what were some of the biggest challenges for making this series, from a financial perspective, from a production perspective? What are things that people don't know that you feel like they should know if they want to go down the route of being a content creator, completing a project, and taking it forward?
I think, and I hate to get into a spiritual aspect, but whether you believe in Christ or Muhammad or Allah, I think there has to be in everything that you do a bit of a faith aspect. Because what happens is things don't work out in the way you set out. So you have a plan. Our plan originally was to release the show in the spring of 2017. And I found through this process, I'm pretty rigid. I didn't know this. I thought I was fluid. I thought I was easygoing. My kids probably would say something different. My husband would probably say something different. But I always thought I was pretty easygoing. And, like, you know, I went with the flow. But it kind of, like, broke my spirits a bit when I wasn't able to do things on the timetable that I had set out. What this process has taught me is that stick to it no matter what. Even when things look bleak, I promise you, the soul intention, your soul focus, even when things look crazy, something will come along out of, like, in a way you didn't perceive, you couldn't have concocted, you couldn't have asked for. People will show up for you who you never heard of before, that you've never met. People will give you encouragement and lend their time and their space because your intention has given as they call the universe, but I call him Jesus. It gives God an opportunity to open up for you ways and means that you didn't even recognize. And they say God often gets quiet during the test, as most teachers do. So you're going to feel alone at times. Like, am I doing the right thing? Sometimes when you're not getting the message, when you're not getting a word, and when you're not hearing anything, you're on the right path. Do what you're doing. Keep at it. Don't give up. And as far as the money is concerned, I say start where you can. You know, set yourself up a goal. If you're a new filmmaker and you work a day job, give yourself, hey, listen, I'm not going to shoot anything over $1,000. Let's save $1,000. I'm going to work on the script. And in the middle of me working on the script, I'm going to cast. I'm going to do everything I can, start calling in favors and doing what I can, because to make it get you indoors that you couldn't get in before. To create something, get you a conversation that you might not have gotten. No one wants to hear about your ideas, hon. Nobody wants to hear about, I got a great idea for a movie. If you're a content creator, create a damn, synopsis and a one-liner. Like, come on, speak the content creator language. Write a good script. Make your script amazing. Go to the schools. Talk to DPs. Talk to editors. Get with people who are talented. To stop trying to shoot for the stars. Sometimes everyone on the ground level could be an amazing asset to what you want to do. You never know who that next, that next eye can be for you, or the next big editor. Yeah, like work on the teams and work on your level, and but do it. Don't be afraid. Just do it.
I love it. You just gave people business, church, and their life. In 5 minutes or less. That was amazing. You said you better get your life and pray about it too.
Nobody want to hear your ideas. They want to see what you're doing.
Yes. Well, you know what it is? I think it's so interesting. We live in such a culture of I want everything now, right? Because we've seen so many people go 0 to 100 in 3 years, in 5 years or less, right? Look at Zuckerberg. Look at all of these amazing people who've created platforms that in the past it would have taken other people 20 years to build. So now it's as if we're all under this gun of urgency of like, no, I have to, and also we're externally defining success instead of internally defining it, right? Completing a project is, as I said earlier, right? Like half the battle of just being successful, regardless of how it's received, regardless of the support that it gets. Can you even finish the race? Because if you can finish the race, then you can pitch media, you can pitch investors, you can take it to the next level. But like you said, people don't want to come in on something half done. They want to see the completed project. And even if it has to be reformatted, changed up, whatever, can you complete it? Because if you can do it, you can do anything. So
that's right. And they want to see that you invest in yourself first. Like,
yes.
They want to see how much you're willing to put in before I can come in and be an investor with you. How much have you put in? Let me tell you something. My story won the Widescreen Film Festival Best Screenplay Short. The 60 plus other film festivals who rejected us, rejected us from the film festival world. We spent hundreds of dollars on film festivals, hundreds to get involved, and about 67 rejected us. What if I'd stopped at 20? What if I'd stopped at 30? What if I stopped at 40? What if I just didn't keep going? And so, you know what? So you have to be prepared for the no's. And it's going to be a lot of no's. It's going to be people who will try to reframe your vision. Oh, if you only did this, and what if you cut? No. And I tell you, Curvy Girls Rock has been an immense lesson. Again, I'm going to talk about PDJ because he's like my mentor in my head. He said you have to be willing to not only you have to be willing to have your vision and see it alone for a while. You have to be willing to sit on your vision alone for a while. And you also have to be willing to take people's advice and say, this is advice I'm going to use. And you have to say, this advice I'm not going to use. And you don't have to say it to them, but you have to know who and what you are. And this process has taught me a lot about, making decisions quickly, listening to my inner voice. Don't discredit the flags. If you see someone who's not working hard, or someone who's coasting on their laurels, or somebody who's not bringing to the table what you thought they were going to, cut it, nip it in the bud. Don't think about it. Don't feel, no, this is your business. This is your life. This is your baby. You take care of your baby before anyone else. And if it had not been for this process, I would not have known that. And I wouldn't have been I'm not even cutthroat. I'm just very precise in how I do this. And I've become such a much better leader than I ever was. So if nothing else, Curvy Girls built me. I thought I was making it. It was turning me into what I needed to be.
That is so powerful. Like the beauty of creationism, like changed you, and like it brought out a different side of you through something you were creating. That's amazing. That's
absolutely.
So
and most of it is for us, because if we think about the people who are attached, it's about 50 plus people who are attached to this project. Who are now looking at it from a whole different perspective. It began with me. So I think if you are in a position as an entrepreneur, follow through, because there are people waiting on you. And it's also to grow you. You think you're growing it, but it's to grow you and extend to you and make you the person that you're supposed to be. So
absolutely.
Follow through, stick with it, because it's more profound than you could ever imagine.
Absolutely. Oh, well, then I guess just with a couple of questions left would be, I'd love, I think the key with entrepreneurship, being a content creator myself, it's always really interesting when you have your hands in so many different projects and so many different ventures, and you're trying to stay focused on like 25 things.
Right.
And sometimes you work on 5 today, others it's 1, right? What are tips that you can share for everyone who is watching, listening, how to be a very focused, laser focused entrepreneur, content creator? What does that mean to you? And what are some tools and resources that you use to stay on the grind and keep moving towards that finish line?
So for me, it has always been allowing people who are interested in providing their services, allowing them to come in and do that, which is often hard because, again, with me and TD Jakes, I'm an oldest man some money.
Well, no, you just need to do some content creation with it. That's what you need to do.
Right, exactly.
Shout out to his daughter, Sarah Jakes. I love her. Every time I hear her, I'm like, oh God, yes, mama.
Here we go.
Yes.
So he talks about in his book, he talks about the fact that he felt like his dad could have gone so much further. His father was always someone who was an earner. Like, he knew how to hustle. He knew how to make money. He knew how to earn money for the family. The problem was he became a business owner, and the business was going really, really well. He never wanted to delegate, which kept him in hustle mode. The problem is sometimes as an entrepreneur, we're so busy hustling, we get so addicted to the hustle and that grind that we forget that we have to switch gears and go into business, which means you have to delegate to people who are willing. You have to be willing to train interns and lose them, because interns are, it's sort of an in and out, like a revolving door. So you have to be willing to do some of that revolving door work. It's a pain in the ass, I know. But it's, in the end of it, it helps you, because if you're able to delegate, even if it's a month or 3 months or 4 months, it helps you. It gives you the freedom to not have to worry about certain things. And not only that, sowing and reaping means I have to give as much as I want to be given. So if you're training interns and you're training volunteers, you're giving them invaluable information, and you're teaching them things that they may not have learned in a corporate setting. So you're giving them something, but you're also gaining their services. And I'm not saying it's always perfect, and I'm not saying that everyone deserves a shot, but what I'm saying is get out of hustle mode. Sometimes you have to delegate. If you have an extra $100 a month, find a virtual assistant. You have to be, and in the early days, you have to know every aspect of your business. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot rely, you have to learn accounting, even if it's just learning a little bit of QuickBooks. You have to learn how to take those receipts and tape them on a page and save them for the year end. You have to
Mm-hmm.
learn how to do publicity on your own. You have to learn how to work Canva, which is an amazing tool for those who don't know. It helps with like graphic creation, because they come with,
Mm-hmm.
all you have to do is like change the lettering, and it makes your life that much easier. You have to learn those things, because marketing is key. No one's gonna, if the tree falls in the forest and there's no one to hear, it doesn't make a sound. Like, if your company,
Mm-hmm.
no one knows what you're doing, are you making any waves? And you have, and I can't stress upon this enough, you have to be willing to go through a quiet phase. And I'm saying you have to be willing, when nobody seems to be paying you any attention, to keep going through that, to walk in
Yes.
faith through the quiet, when no one's like, oh my God, girl, you killing it, and it's just your family who's shouting you out, and then your family and friends stop shouting you out. They don't want to talk
Mm-hmm.
about it no more. And then there'll come a phase when you'll get a tribe who are like, oh, what you're doing is dope, and then that tribe will kind of cease and desist, and you have to reevaluate and keep going. So
Mm-hmm.
press, delegate, and learn all the aspects of your business. Every
Mm-hmm.
aspect.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think the biggest things that I hear as a coach, or really, yeah, through my coaching, I would say people are constantly saying they sit in a place of, I don't know, and they're not
Yeah,
willing to get the answer. And it's so
right.
disturbing, because it's like, if you are not hungry enough for your dream, why should anyone else be more hungry for you? Why should anyone
Come on.
care? Right? It's
Come
so
on.
disturbing to me. The idea of, like, you can literally in 2018 be okay with saying, oh, I just didn't know how to get started, and did
Right.
nothing about it. Have you met Google? Have you met LinkedIn? Like,
Come
have you met
on.
Facebook? If you have a question, a million other people have that exact same question, guaranteed,
Exactly.
right? And then what? There are people who have answers. Guess who's going to share them? You're going to find them online. You're going to find them in
That's
books. You're
right.
going to find them on podcasts. You're going to find them with TD Jakes, like, right? Like, you're gonna find the answers somewhere in your
Yeah.
church, in a mentorship relationship. But
Yep.
someone, if you have a question, someone has the answer. And if there isn't an answer, if you're like, nope, Dasha, I looked everywhere, then share that with us. Tell the world that you had a question and you could not find the answer. And I bet you someone will still tell you, did you look here? Did you find it here?
Right.
Because
Right.
most questions can be answered. I mean, I really think it's a rarity not to. So yeah, I
And
mean, anyone.
I don't want to like pick on the entrepreneurs, because it's people who have
Yeah,
like corporate gigs, who don't
true.
extend themselves and try, like, they want more, but they don't go after it. They don't look, and they're afraid to redefine themselves, to search out a position that they really want by redefining what they've already learned, and taking that and saying, well, I really want a job someplace. Well, have you redone your resume to represent that, what you really wanted? Have you gone out and sought volunteer opportunities with some amazing organizations that you can do something for them for free and gain that experience without having to really get a day job doing that until that opportunity comes up? So you are absolutely right. Stop making excuses. It's out
Yeah.
there. Let's go.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I just finished a conference, and everyone like came up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, Natasha. Because yeah, I'm a straight shooter and I'm Jamaican and Virgo. You're Virgo as well, right?
Yes.
Yes. Right. And so we're just straight to the gut, like what you need to hear, when you need to hear it. Even if you don't want to hear it,
Want
you're
to
going to
hear
hear
it?
it.
Yes.
So I guess with that, I just would love for everyone listening, watching, to just get to know you a little bit more, how they can support and feed into you and give you love. Where can they get more information about the series? Where can they sign up if they want to get tickets, attend? And then also, again, if people want to work with you, collaborate with you, where do they go?
So I'm easy to find. I am on Instagram and Facebook, Shakesha Williams, no I in Keisha. So the show's also on Instagram, Curvy Girls with an S, Rock Series, and that's IG, and on Facebook and Twitter, you can find us at CGR Series. And CGRseries.com is the the website. On both my personal and Curvy Girls Rock page are links to the tickets. We are doing a screening, red carpet, on November 18th in Brooklyn. So if you're in the Brooklyn area, please, oh please, definitely come through. It's going to be an amazing time. Maddie Jones is the moderator for our Q&A. Karen Quinn is operating the red carpet for us. A young lady named Afrovocative is taking over the IG for us. So it's going to be kind of, and I hate to use this word, it's going to be a little bit lit, just enough.
Yes, you have some heavy hitters rolling through the building. So I'm super excited that that Plus Model magazine will be through and through rocking this out. So this is going to be amazing, guys. You guys have to come out, get your tickets, come and support. And this is the time to support, right? I think at one of the conferences, like I said, I was just at a conference, and a living legend, Vera Moore of Vera Moore Cosmetics, really got real with everyone, right? And she said, what does support mean to you? Because support literally means opening up your wallet. It means giving your time, right? It means buying into your community when you can, whether it's for women, whether it's for people of color. So guys, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, if you are a fan of body positivity, if you're a fan of this movement of trying to make the world understand and appreciate the plus size narrative, this is an event you do not want to miss. You have to attend and you have to show up. Showing up means getting the tickets, sharing it on social, making 3 friends each buy tickets and tell their 3 friends buy tickets, right? So show up, guys. And with that, do you have any other last minute words for everyone?
I just want everyone, like I always leave this with anyone who is suffering with depression or serious insecurities and fears that is just almost crippling to you. I want you to know you're not the only one out there who's suffering with it. I suffered with it, and I was, after time, it wasn't automatic. It wasn't, like a quick fix. But over time, life does get better. And we need you to stick around just one more day. We want you to be here tomorrow because tomorrow we need you. Today we need you. Reach out, and I would love to, like if you need anything, share it with me on my Instagram page. I'll hit you up, no doubt about it, because I'm all about us having mental health and wellness. Because without your mind, you can't do much of anything else. So if you're suffering out there, you're not alone. We love you. We want to support you. Let us know what's going on with you, and keep it classy, New York City. But
absolutely.
And the other thing is, if you come into this, please come through looking good, because this is about to go down. Good girls be showing up. We don't play. So if you come through, whatever size you are, make it count. Make it count, because we taking pictures.
Okay,
so you will
I love it. Would you say it's like black tie come through, or what type of?
But it's cocktail come through though. It's not black tie come through, but I want to see a lot of hipster chic going on. I want a lot of hipster chic happening with your shoes and your fedoras. I want it all. I want to feel like I'm in a Maxwell video. All right.
Yes, that sounds amazing.
Starts in 1996.
You are too funny. I can't wait. I know everyone listening, watching can't wait. Thank you so much for not only creating this amazement, but just living in this truth. And again, motivating us all to be better content creators, to cut the bull and do what we want to do and do what we love, no matter what the cost, right? And completing it and showing the world that you can do this.
Come on. Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you. Absolutely. All right. I'll see you soon.
All right. See you soon. Bye.